From the Copper Box in London, England, it is the international version of the Hoophall Invitational. We have 4 great American high school teams taking part in a tournament where we'll have 2 games today and 2 games tomorrow. And good evening if you're in England. Good afternoon if you're on the East Coast of the United States, and good morning if you're on the West Coast. Mike Ferraro here, along with Graham Hiscock. And Graham, looking forward to working with you as we have 2 great games coming up here today in London.
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody, wherever you are in the world. Mater Dei Monarchs and Pace Academy Knights up first. Really looking forward to this one. Top players on both teams. And both have had an unbeaten start to the season as well back home.
Yes, Mater Dei with a couple of impressive victories. Pace Academy with 3 victories. Mater Dei from the Southern California area, about 30 miles south of Los Angeles. Pace Academy in Atlanta. And we should have a great matchup with these 2 teams coming up here. And then following this one, we'll have Christ the King against Paul VI, known as PVI. So those 2 games coming up here. And then tomorrow, we will have a consolation game and a championship game coming your way.
Yeah, it's going to be absolutely fantastic. The best of high school basketball, Mike. And as the players get introduced, and it's Mater Dei that get introduced first. And doing the research and really getting myself immersed in high school basketball. The players I'm looking forward to seeing: Owen Werner, Scotty Belknap, and Zach Davison, the co-captains. Brandon Martinson and Shay Brogan. Is Shay going to be part of this lineup with Tom Lewis's dad being the assistant coach? So, Mater Dei, really, I think he is their 32, Shay Brogan, the impressive freshman. So, very exciting roster.
And Graham, what you mentioned is Mater Dei, very interesting makeup of this team. Yes, they have some experience. They have some captains who are clear leaders, but they have some freshmen who have already stepped up and made an impact for this team. Now, you take a look at Pace Academy. This is a team that has some length. They have some athleticism with this squad as well.
Yeah, again, impressive start by them in their games against Mays and Chapel Hill. They played 4 games, Decatur and Stockbridge. But MJ Madison, he's on the freshman watch, 6'5", small forward. Kyle Green Jr., huge player for them. Eric Chatfield will run the show, 5'10" point guard. A lot of interest around him. And I like Ferry and Rice as well. 3-point shooters can spread the floor for Pace Academy.
Kyle Green Jr. has made an impact for this team as well. So that's a lot of names we just rattled off there for Pace. So there you go. So we will now just step aside just for a moment for the playing of the national anthem. And there you go, the playing of the United States National Anthem here at Copper Box Arena. First time I've been in this venue, Graham, and an impressive one. It was built really for the 2012 Summer Olympics.
It certainly was. Yeah, they had the boxing in here because the basketball venue was purpose-built for that 2012 Olympics, and then it was sent on to and regenerated for the 2016 Olympics in Rio. But there's been some great basketball nights here, and I'm sure this is going to be no different, Mike.
And when this was built, I understand for the Olympics in 2012 that, initially it was handball, but then pentathlon also taking place in this building too.
Yeah, it's been multiple sports. Yeah, handball for sure. It's got a massive use, a lot of use. The public can use it as well. They can hire the courts. It's a really tight arena, maybe 5,000-6,000 max for the amount of people you can get in here. So when it is packed, this place can really rock.
And we've had some people filing in as they've continued to file in for the start of this one. As we look out on the floor, and we have Brandon Martinson, one of the freshmen that we mentioned from Mater Dei, getting ready to jump center. He's going to jump against L.J. Moore, and Mater Dei wins the tip. We are underway here from London. So Mater Dei wearing the Road Red. Pace is the designated home team in this game. So Mater Dei is going to go right to left. Pace is going to go left to right at the outset. They're going to get it down low to the co-captain, the tri-captain, Zach Davidson, and it's going to be Pace ball.
Yeah, I think they're really going to target Zach Davidson. He was last year's player of the season for Mater Dei, and they've blocked his shot immediately. He's averaging 22 points a game. Pace Academy want to keep him quite early.
Yeah, Davidson certainly off to a great start this season, and on Pace's first possession, an unforced turnover.
Yeah, well, tit for tat there. They're just feeling each other out. Two powerhouse high school teams are showing exactly why they're here.
So that's going to be Zach Davidson inbound, and Pace is going to play full court defense. This is a team that takes a lot of pride in what it does on that end of the floor. 00 is Brady Carrick, the point guard. Comes from a very athletic family. Here's Shea Brogan. Shot clock in this game is 30 seconds, playing 8-minute quarters here. Shot clock down to 5. That's Martinson. Carrick's going to have to fire, and he doesn't get it off. So back-to-back turnovers, this time a shot clock violation. We mentioned Pace has a swarming defense coming up big on that possession.
Yeah, Sharman White, their coach, he really preaches defense, and Pace Academy showing us exactly why. And Mater Dei just kept passing, run out of shot clock.
Fascinating coaching matchups in all of our games here. We'll get into those more as this goes on. That pass is deflected. We'll stay Pace ball with 17 on the timer, 6:45 left in the first quarter. And we have no scorer. It's been all defense in the first minute 15. The long inbound comes into Ben Leach. Now that's Eric Chatfield. Chatfield's the team's leading scorer in the outset of the season. That one doesn't go for Jackson Ferry. Davidson with the rebound. Mater Dei looks to push the tempo. Brogan, the freshman, with the first 2 points of the game.
Yeah, Shea Brogan, he's really highly regarded freshman, 6'5", with a left-hand finish. Started the season well, started this game well.
Yeah, we mentioned Mater Dei has a couple of left-handers, Brogan and Martinson, both natural lefties. So a different look. Here comes a lefty three on the way from Ferry. Not good. And the rebound by Martinson.
Yeah, this has already got the feeling of a fantastic game, Mike.
Just over 2 minutes in with Mater Dei, up by a count of 2-0. As Graham alluded to, the Monarchs with a couple of wins early in this season. That's an errant pass, and here comes the takeaway. Leach, that's L.J. Moore who goes the other way. And that's going to lead to a timeout coming from Gary McKnight and the Mater Dei bench. L.J. Moore, 6'7", 185. You talk about this team taking pride in its defense. L.J. Moore had 6 steals in Pace's most recent game against Stockbridge.
Yeah, I saw that. And he's also on the hoop scene, having a look at that and all the way they're grading these players. And he's one of the top players in his position in the state, and there's going to be players on show here that are nationally right up there as well. So good start for Pace Academy, finishes with the layup, but both teams really feeling each other out, Mike.
Yes, 2-2, the score just 2 minutes and 21 seconds in this one. L.J. Moore also preseason second-team All-State in Georgia. Talked about these coaches. Gary McKnight calling the timeout there. simply a legendary career at Mater Dei. 41st season. He's over 1,000 games over 500.
Yeah.
He's won 39 league titles in 40 years. And on the other side, you have Sharman White, who's also the associate athletic director at Pace Academy. He has won 9 high school state championships in Georgia. He was previously at Miller Grove High School, won 6 straight in a row there. Also has done some great work with development programs at Team USA. Was an assistant coach at Georgia State for a couple years as well.
And, of course, they won the Under-17 World Cup USA with him coaching in the summer. So he is a high-level coach. Great to see him here.
And we're going to have a whistle and a foul. That looks like that's going to go against L.J. Moore. And that is the first foul of the contest, coming with 5:25 left in the quarter. So as you mentioned, Sharman White does win the gold as head coach of the U17 team this year. That follows up in 2021 a gold as head coach of the U16 team, following that squad up a year.
Yeah, and that's great to have that continuity over the 2 years. And again,
good inbounds play, finding an open Davidson, and he's fouled.
Yeah, well, Zach Davison, they really targeted him on that first offensive play when they blocked his shot. But he is a key player for this team. 22 points a game, Mike, early on, and player of the year last year.
First free throw was good. Davidson and Martinson, the tallest players on Mater Dei, both standing at 6'8". Davidson has committed to playing college basketball at the University of Montana. His second free throw doesn't go. Brogan had his hands on, but it's taken out of there by Payson. There's that man again, L.J. Moore, using his wingspan. On the attack is Ben Leach, but that's denied. And now coming the other way is Owen Verna. Verna tries to finish, high off glass, doesn't go. And it's going to be pace ball.
Yeah, really up and down here. They're attacking the basket Mater Dei, but Pace Academy just doing enough on the defense there.
As we'll have our first substitution, as Kendall Evans is going to check into the Pace Academy lineup. He's going to replace Ben Leach, and Kendall Evans has committed. He has his college future figured out. It's at the United States Naval Academy, and it's as a football player, as a wide receiver.
Oh, wow. Well, multiple sports.
You'll see several players in this tournament who have shined in basketball and another sport. Kendall Evans certainly one of them. And that's a three-pointer for Kyle Green Jr.
Yeah, that was really nice. Just catch and shoot in the corner, nothing but net.
And now Pace is going to get it back after a turnover.
Yeah, it's that defense. They are absolutely relentless. Similar to Barking Abbey we talked about in the EABL game earlier. They just will not give Mater Dei a moment's rest.
Now, L.J. Moore is the tallest player for Pace at 6'7", but what you have is you have wingspans, you have athleticism, and you have a mentality. Here's Chatfield. Meets 3 Mater Dei defenders. With the shot clock under 10, we have a loose ball. Carrick on the floor, and a jump ball is called. With the arrow, stays in possession of Pace.
Yeah, good hustle by both teams, not wanting the other team to get the upper hand with any loose ball situations. Possession arrow. Ball stays with Pace Academy.
Nearing the halfway point of the first quarter, 6 on the timer. It's going to be Kyle Green Jr. to put it in. Comes into L.J. Moore. Moore with the spin from the block, and he connects.
Yeah, L.J., that's a really tough move. Elevates, hangs in the air. Nice soft touch.
Carrick is trapped in the corner, goes out of bounds, will stay Mater Dei ball. That's a tough place to be caught.
Yeah, that's exactly where he didn't want to go on that sideline, near the timeline as well. Perfect situation for Pace Academy to trap.
Not only do they trap, but you can use the sideline and the half-court line as a couple extra defenders there.
Exactly. Yeah, perfect. Perfectly executed.
So this is going to be Martinson who will inbound with Kendall Evans there. Here's Brogan on the attack. And he has another 2, and he has 4 of Mater Dei's first 5 points.
Yeah, I I like Brogan already. Moves well without the ball. Good finish.
The 6'6" freshman looking good early, and we're going to have a foul. And that looks like that's going to be whistled against Martinson. And here's another look. Inbound goes off the hands of Davis Rice into the backcourt, and the Mater Dei bench is upset because they thought it went off his hands to begin with. So was that a timeline violation? Well, play on. With the spin in the lane, Moore's shot comes up short. Verna. And the rebound to Kyle Green Jr. Here's Green with the scoop. Doesn't go, but he'll go to the line.
Yeah, he just kept going. And I think he's one of these guys, if you don't stop him, he will keep attacking the basket. And exactly what he did there. And he'll go to the line for 2 shots.
Brady Carrick is going to get the foul. So at the 3:01 mark of the first quarter, going to the line, Kyle Green Jr. First is good preseason first-team All-State in Georgia. We mentioned L.J. Moore, preseason second-team selection, and Green, a first-team selection. He's a junior, averaging 16.7 points per game in Pace's first 3 contests. Listed at 6'4", the wingspan is 6'8". Davidson gets that rebound. Carrick will slow it down the front court. He's averaging 6.5 assists per game. Prototypical point guard.
Yeah, I like Carrick as well.
Here's Davidson. Offensive foul.
Well, that didn't look a lot of contact, but the refs called it. The ref was right there, the official, and they're making it difficult for Zach Davidson. They know he's the key player. It's his senior year, and he really wants to stand out of this tournament.
So Davidson at 6'8", Davis Rice, 6'3", stands in and takes the charge.
Yeah, that's a brave play and a big lift for Pace Academy.
Pace Academy, in a win against Chapel Hill on November the 19th, took 6 charges in that game.
Yeah.
And head coach Sharman White, he put that on his Twitter account when he was listing out the game highlights. He was sure to mention 6 charges. 3 on the way for Evans, and he connects.
Yeah, Kendall Evans. He had 15 points and 3 from three-point range against Stockbridge, just showing his range right there.
And again, Pace extends this defense full court. And the pulse for Davidson. Again, 2 Pace defenders there and another turnover.
Yeah, maybe a bounce pass would have been a better option there. Tough pass to catch.
Evans. And the rebound hauled in by Brogan. Carrick wants to push the tempo. Davidson faces up, attacks, meets a couple of defenders, and a traveling violation.
Yeah, I think Zach forced it a bit there. I think he wants to send a message to Pace Academy that I'm the key man, and he was surrounded there and just took 1 too many steps.
Luke Barnett will see his first action of the day coming in for Martinson for Mater Dei. The Mater Dei rotation, I think ideally Gary McKnight wants to go about 8 deep or so.
Yeah.
Could extend it a little bit past that, but that's traditionally about what he wants to do. But this is a team that has 19 players on the trip. A 24-person roster, 19 of them are here in London. Chatfield kicks it into the corner. The mid-range jumper is good by Davis Rice. Davis Rice with nice plays on both ends of the floor. And Pace Academy with a 13-5 lead as we approach a minute left in quarter number 1. And that 3-pointer is good for Scotty Belknap, a tri-captain.
Yeah, right back at you. No one comes out to contest the shot, knocks it down in transition.
Now you see 2 3-point lines on the floor. The closer one is the American High School 3-point line. In the lane, the floater goes for Kendall Evans.
Yeah, I got you. I've got the rules, just about.
It looked like that there was a little bit of confusion with the signal of the three-point call as well. Again, with the multiple lines on the floor, you have to look out. But indeed, that was called a three-pointer before, so it's a 15-8 deficit for Mater Dei on this possession. Yeah. Brogan kicks it back out. This Pace defense is swarming. Davidson over a couple defenders, counted and won.
Yeah, that's really good play against the 2-3 zone or the 2-1-2 zone defense of Pace Academy. Good spacing. The ball goes down low to Davidson, who's in behind the defense. And he's able to split the two defenders and get the nice touch. So that's much better by Mater Dei and by Davidson. He needs some confidence there.
It really seems like, as we've mentioned, Graham, that this Pace defense, at least early on, has been built around taking Davidson away. He misses the free throw. Brogan, offensive rebound, back up, reverse layup, doesn't go. Still being fought for, still loose. Goes toward the corner. And it's going to be Pace ball with 8.4 seconds left in quarter number one.
Yeah, that was sensational hustle from both teams. Multiple efforts. And in the end, Pace Academy get it back, and really impressive, the defensive effort, both teams, but this time Pace Academy even more so. So
this will be a sideline out of bounds play as here comes Kyle Green Jr. matched up with Carrick. Down to three, tries to get into the lane. It's loose on the floor, and Pace Academy's not going to get a shot up. And that is the end of quarter number one. Good defense by Scotty Belknap getting on the floor. We have played 8 minutes. It is Pace 15, Mater Dei 10.
Yeah, wow, just some good play. Great defense from Pace Academy. They're making it tough for Zach Davison to get really into the game. You know, he is the standout player for this group, but there are other players, as we said, that have had a good start to this season and that have played well last year, but they're taking Davison out. But Pace Academy, if they can get this swarming defense working, get some traps, get some easy transition buckets, they're going to be a real handful.
What's been interesting about this matchup, too, is that you have two teams that have played coming into this. The Mater Dei has 2 games under its belt. Pace 3 official games plus a scrimmage as well. And what's interesting is the next game that we have coming up after this, which is Paul VI PVI against Christ the King. That's going to be the season opener for both of those teams.
Yes, I think they've had some scrimmages and some play like that, but nothing official. So what a way to start as we see some of the highlights from both sides. And the three-point shooting is good. As you explained, the line is nearer, but I think a lot of these players are going to be behind that outer line, aren't they? Their range is so endless.
Had the opportunity to go and see some of these teams at shoot-around this morning as well. And there was one discussion about, hey, when we're warming up and taking our shots, make sure that you're using the high school three-point line and not go behind the other one completely as well. So we get ready here for the start of the second quarter as the Mater Dei huddle breaks again. Gary McKnight, head coach, 41st season. He's won a national championship, 11 California state titles, won a national championship in 2014. As Mater Dei will have possession to start the second quarter, and there's a look at Gary McKnight again, just a legendary career, the 4th winningest high school coach of all time. Is Mater Dei in possession to start this second quarter. That's Brogan behind the three-point line into a cutting Davidson. Davidson draws the foul. Jackson Ferry is going to pick up the foul. That is going to be his first. As taking a look at the first quarter stats, well, both teams shot at least 50% from the field, as Davidson's first free throw is good, but the turnovers really the story of it, that Pace was able to generate 6 Mater Dei turnovers and turn that into 9 points. Yeah, and that's only 1 turnover themselves for Pace Academy. So, yeah, that's what Coach Sharman White bases his ideologies and his ideas for coaching, and it's playing out right in front of us. Sharman White said on Twitter recently, defensive effort can't be determined by offensive success. That is so true at any level of this game. L.J. Moore, and there's some defense by Mater Dei that has this bench fired up.
Yeah, Mater Dei have got to hang strong here and get a good look.
Directing traffic is Verna. Davidson into the corner. And that three from Luke Barnett does not go. Rebound by Chandler Bing. And a foul is called. And that's going to go against the Monarchs of Mater Dei.
Yeah, I think the bench would definitely, as I think we're going to get another look, the bench definitely thought it was offensive. He's just sliding across. He's not quite there. He's still moving.
Right. And that's what you look for. You have to be set. And in that case, Barnett, as you mentioned, feet still moving a little bit. So pace to inbound, 7:03 left in the second quarter. And the Knights with a 3-point lead at 15-12. Pace wearing the white uniforms. It says Knights on the back of the jersey. Mater Dei wearing the road red. And that is going to be an offensive foul.
Yeah, great job by the freshman, Shea Brogan. And Mater Dei, it's a full bench for sure, as you mentioned, and they're all loving it, creating a great atmosphere around that bench huddle.
Well, Graham, we've talked about from the start of this, you really like a lot of Brogan's game.
Yeah, and he's got parents that he's got a lot of live up to, because of course his mum played in the Olympic Games for Australia, and so he is fully focused when he's coming on the floor here with Dad coaching him as well.
So many Mater Dei players come from some athletic families. There's one, Davidson, he misses. Second chance doesn't go from Belknap, and here comes Pace the other way. Quickly in transition is Chatfield with the scoop off, goes back to Ferry. Chatfield throw about the three, and it's taken away. Here comes Verna for two.
Yeah, Owen Verna. Just a solid start to the season for him coming in here, and nice defensive play and just a basic layup on this occasion.
Yeah, Verna with a great defense leading to offense play. When Mater Dei defeated Orangewood, he hit 5 3-pointers and had 16 points in that game. So he has the long-distance shooting ability, and a good defense leads to offense play, and all of a sudden we have a 1-point game.
Yeah, it's a good job by Mater Dei. I think these teams are really evenly matched. And they're dominant. They're dominant in their own regions of the USA, Mike. And it's great to get them going head to head, because I guess they wouldn't normally, unless they're on a national high school run, they wouldn't normally play against each other in regular season.
And that's what so many of these tournaments are great for, whether the regional tournaments in the United States or this one. A great job by the Basketball Hall of Fame, Hoophall, putting this on in addition to the collegiate games that are going to take place on Sunday. Yep. You're bringing teams together from New York City, from Atlanta, from the Washington, D.C. area, and from the West Coast. That in Mater Dei, the team that came over Tuesday night, 10-hour flight to get here, got here Wednesday afternoon, a little bit of time to get acclimated, and maybe a little bit of time to get acclimated in this game too, but we have a competitive one with it being a 1-point game with 6:11 left in the second quarter.
Yeah, and we talked about Pace Academy's defense, but there's a lot of great defense being played by the team in red as well, Mike. And, the first effort on that attempted charge, no good. Tried it again, and Mater Dei came up trumps there, and then they get the steal as well. So they're easing their way into the game.
Now, we talked a lot about the success that Mater Dei has had under Gary McKnight. Well, this Pace Academy team, state champions in Georgia in 2016, 2017, 2020, 2021, another offensive foul. Yeah.
Just too much physicality there from Pace Academy, and the bench, all of those bench players, 2 rows of them up and showing their support for Mater Dei.
And once again, who's the primary defender? It's Verna.
Yeah, exactly, and he's leading them. He's a key player.
Verna will also run the point with Carrick on the bench. He's being defended by Chatfield, and that's a pretty feed to Blake Davidson, younger brother of Zach Davidson, 4-2.
Yeah, well, that's perfect spacing, just a little duck to the bucket, wide open, short shot.
Blake Davidson stands 6'7". He had 12 against Dos Pueblos, coming into his own as well. And, yeah, no Monarch touched that one, so that'll be Mater Dei ball.
Yeah, and all of a sudden it's turning. Mater Dei up by 1 and looking really good.
Brilliant start to this game by Pace. Mater Dei has controlled the play since it was a 5-point Pace lead after the first quarter. That's Martinson, kick out for 3. Belknap, good!
Yeah, we know Belknap. He's co-captain, averaging 10 points a game in these first couple of games for Mater Dei back home, and he's just knocked down that wide open 3.
First 3 minutes of the second quarter, 9-0, and the men wearing red. Pace will try to break that, but that 3 does not go. In the front court, Blake Davidson. Thought about the long 3, but driving in and missing is Belknap. Another chance does not go, and Kendall Evans slows down the proceedings with the rebound.
Super effort from Mater Dei a couple of times on the offensive glass there.
Kyle Green Jr. fell down, going to the floor. Now Mater Dei with possession. Here comes Martinson. Can he finish with the left? He does.
Wow, Mater Dei have just turned it up. They are heating up here on the defensive end, and it leads to an easy layup for Martinson with the left hand.
11-0 since the start of the second quarter.
Coach Gary McKnight has said something, has got right into them.
Here comes Verna again. Look at that feed. What a beautiful feed to Martinson for 2.
Wow, no look. Just through Pace Academy right off there. Another easy basket for Mater Dei.
And look at this run. It's taking place right now with Carrick on the bench, with Zach Davidson on the bench as well. As Mater Dei with some second unit players in there, and they've brought the intensity on both ends of the floor. 23-15 is the Mater Dei lead. And there's a shot blocked by Martinson. In transition, here's Verna. Another 3 is good.
They are unconscious, Mike. This is sensational play by Mater Dei. Just defense and the latest play. 3-pointer in transition. That is not easy. Made to look easy by Owen Verna.
Let's get another look.
That's contested as well, but there was nothing else on his mind. Just catch, perfect balance, super footwork.
And that was from the international line.
Yeah, again, it's just these guys have got serious range. They can pull up from anywhere behind either arc. Wow.
16-0 since the start of the second quarter. Pace led 15-10 after 1. And as we mentioned, the turnovers in the first 8 minutes, Mater Dei had 6, Pace had 1. When Mater Dei turned up the intensity on the defensive end, the defense led to offense.
Yeah, and that's probably that's completely flipped on its side. Now it's Pace Academy that are turning it over, but it's under pressure. All their shots are contested, either getting deflected or blocked. And again, Mater Dei, they just push the ball with ease up the floor. Nice look away as well. They're showing us the full repertoire.
And you look up at the scoreboard, a balanced scoring effort is you have 5 Monarchs with at least 4 points, led by Belknap with 6. For Pace, the leading scorer is Kendall Evans with 5. And there you go. There's the look at what you see as you have the scoreboard. 12 players per side listed on there, and
yep.
Mater Dei with now an 11-point lead past the halfway point of the second quarter. Again, we play 8-minute quarters here with American high school rules. The fouls. 7 is the single bonus, 10 is the double bonus. Those don't reset at quarters, they reset at halves.
Yep, okay.
And speaking of fouls, there's one, and that'll be the 5th for Mater Dei of the first half. And it looks like that's going to go against Blake Davidson.
Blake Davidson is first, team's 5th.
Yeah, again, Carl Green Jr. just getting deep into the Mater Dei. And that's another different rule, being able to throw it from the inbounds into the backcourt. So some of our UK viewers have just got to get adjusted to some of these rules.
Right, and that's something that is fairly commonplace in America about inbounding to the backcourt. And a foul is called on the 3-point attempt. And again, that looks like that's going to be Blake Davidson with Kyle Green Jr. taking the shot.
Yeah, Kyle Green Jr., he's one of the top players for this Pace Academy night. 6'3", point guard. Again, he's got another year, 2024. He graduates just a top player. Played in the Adidas Under-17 tournament as well in the summer. Impressed there. Highly rated guard, Mike. Really impressed with him.
And he's shown a great all-around game as well. Against Stockbridge in this team's most recent game on Tuesday, he had 10 points. He also had 8 assists and 6 steals as well. So he can get it done on both ends of the floor. And now after the second free throw, some substitutions as both Davidsons have 2 fouls. So that'll put Blake on the bench, but I'll put Zach back in the game with 2:52 left until halftime.
Yeah, I think that's a good move. Get him in. He's got all the experience to see him through to halftime.
And Kyle Green Jr., to his credit, hits all 3 free throws, and that'll give Pace a chance to extend the defense, but Mater Dei breaks it. Here comes Brogan in the front court with a nice feed, and Martinson with the finish.
That is a sensational finish with the left hand hanging in the air, takes out the defense for the finish.
Freshman to freshman.
Yeah, but they didn't look like it there.
Gary McKnight's been here 41 years. He may want to see this group all the way through.
Yeah, just one more group, please.
Spin in the lane and a pretty one to go from Chandler Bing.
Yeah, that was tough. He was heavily guarded there. Just a little bit of fade to create space.
That pass is deflected by Chatfield, but now Mater Dei in the front court. That one's deflected. Here comes out Pace the other way. Chatfield was not quite able to save it.
That's really unlike him. Such a solid player for this Pace Academy team, but they sped up on the defensive end. They sped up Mater Dei. Mater Dei ended up taking a shot they didn't really want to take, so better signs defensively anyway for Pace Academy.
Under 2 minutes left in the second quarter, and a whistle and a foul as, again, Brogan looking to go through traffic. A little slow getting up. He's held to his feet by his teammates.
Yeah, he was fortunate there because he's looking to his left, and the defense is coming on the right, and got it knocked away. In fact, they both hit the floor, so there was. Hopefully, they're both okay. Maybe a knee-to-knee scenario.
No medical attention applied to either player, so well, that would be the hope. That looks like that we are in good shape there.
He's just walking it off. But I mean, I've seen what Shea Brogan has been doing recently, and the stock that he comes from. But I'm impressed with the amount of minutes that Coach McKnight just leaves him out there.
First free throw is good. So again, now this is a 1-and-1 situation. When 10 fouls are reached, then you will have the double bonus.
Yeah.
Which is similar to United States men's college basketball.
Yeah. Okay.
The quarters aspect is similar to United States women's college basketball. The women's game went to that several years ago. The men's game still played in 20-minute halves.
Yeah, 2 20s.
And here we go again with Brogan. Can't finish. A foul is called, though.
Yeah, just breaking up the play, Mater Dei, getting to the line. And it's Shea Brogan yet again, as we see on the... Well, they were trying to get a charge there, Pace Academy. That wasn't going to happen. And Brogan, protecting the ball well, gets to the line for his shots.
Jackson Ferry picks up the foul, which will put Brogan at the line. 3 Monarchs with 6 points now. Brogan, the game's leader with, tied for the game lead with 7 with Kyle Green Jr. at pace. This is going to be our first look at MJ Madison for pace as Evans is going to go out. And Brogan gets the shooter's roll on the second try. The Mater Dei lead is now 12 at 32-20 after a 5-point deficit at the end of the first quarter.
Yeah, it's impressive second quarter. They've really turned it up a lot of notches.
A lot of defense, including that possession.
Yeah, that's just super play by Owen Werner, moving his feet. The offense loses balance, and they get the possession back. That's just top-level elite defense.
Here's Brady Carrick. His parents, Andy and Laura, both athletes at Santa Clara. Loose ball on the floor. Pace comes up with it. The run out by Bing. Counted and one.
Yeah, Bing runs the floor really well. I was seeing that in a lot of the Pace Academy early games. And he just finishes. 2 players have tried to block that shot, one after the other. Good concentration off the glass.
And Brogan is going to pick up the foul. So that puts Bing at the line to try and complete a 3-point play. He does. Bing had 9 points in what was a win over a good Chapel Hill team for Pace on November 19th.
Under 1 minute left in the half.
Brogan near the post. Good position by Davidson, and he finishes.
That's just excellent IQ by Day, moving the ball around, get it in early to Zach Davison for the finish. He had his defender right on his back.
When you catch the ball that deep, though, he could be tough to defend. That one does not go off the hands of Davis Rice. Differential between shot clock and game clock is 6 seconds here in the second quarter. That has been all Mater Dei. A 24-8 scoring advantage for the Monarchs in the second period. Martinson, can he add to it? No, that shot's going to get blocked, and we're going to have a tie-up. As credit Davis Rice for not letting go of that one. And it will be Pace ball with the timer turned off and 16.4 seconds left in the half.
Yeah, it's much better defense by Pace Academy, making it really tough for Mater Dei to get a good look. They get the block and they get the possession on the held ball.
So Kyle Green Jr. and Jackson Ferry will now both come back into the lineup for this presumably last offensive possession of the first half, although we talked in the earlier game about, never assuming in this game.
Yeah. I think they're going to slow it. Well, let's see. They seem to be slowing it down to that sort of pace.
Chatfield against Carrick, down to 5.5. Here he comes up the far side. He loses the ball, and it's going to be Mater Dei ball with 1.6 to go.
Chatfield struggling. He turned the ball over in the open floor earlier. He is one of their key players. He's still young, but one of the most highly rated players in the state of Georgia.
Davidson, he's looking long, and now he's just going to go short to Carrick. Carrick will fire it from half court, and that one doesn't go. But what a second quarter for Mater Dei. Outscoring Pace by a margin of 24-8 in the second quarter after Pace led by 5 after the first 8 minutes. We're halfway home. It's Mater Dei 34, Pace 23.
Yeah, just super turnaround by Mater Dei, and it's been a lot of different players. They're not relying on one or two. And as you said, some of the key players stepped out. Belknap and Davison came out. Zach came out. Younger brother goes in. Some of the players that come off the bench, they brought all the spark, all the energy, and increased the lead.
And again, we mentioned that Gary McKnight, he doesn't want to go too deep into his bench most nights, but it was some of those players on the second unit that really helped fuel the run, as you said.
Yeah, I'm just impressed with the guys they've coming off. Blake Davison looks really sharp, and Carrick and Werner and Davison, we know, and Martinson, we know they're the key players. But you've got to have guys that are going to come up and be an X factor. Mater Dei certainly had that as we look at some of the highlights. And of course, Shea Brogan, we talked about him pre-game. He's not disappointing and scoring in different ways. He's a lefty. They've got a couple of lefties on this team, Mater Dei, and I think that really helps their balance offensively.
And again, you see some of the Mater Dei defense that fueled this run as well. And again, another pretty feed inside.
Yeah, Blake Davison just moving without the ball. Good spacing. Again, Pace Academy have tried all sorts of different defenses. They've tried man, the zone. Now Mater Dei seem to have worked out the zone. Then they're getting semi-transition and transition buckets. Really simple. That was that no-look pass. 2-on-1. I mean, just basic transition. And that is a tough move, though, Mike.
And by another lefty freshman in Martinson. And again, what was the key to so much of that? The passing. The passing was so crisp in that second quarter.
Yeah, assist, share the ball, give up a good shot, get a great shot. And look what's happened. They're in control of this game.
Yeah, this game really seemed like it turned on its head after the first 8 minutes or so. The Pace defense was so great early in that game. And Mater Dei then in the second 8 minutes really took control. So, again, we're going to take a break at the half here as it's Mater Dei with the 11-point lead. And we'll be back in a few minutes.
This is a big goal.
Mr. Triple Double. Pippen is the best ever.
Let me take the picture for you.
Moment for the Admiral. So long, this is what you dream about. Stockton to Malone.
Let's go into the theater.
Yeah, I think the movie's coming on now.
You get to keep playing. If you lose, you have to go sit down. So you want to win as much as possible. And that becomes a badge of honor.
And the Boston Celtics are the world champions. The best team in the world. Baby, what a play by Grant.
Hey, Dad, check it out. Bill Chamberlain.
Wow,
50.
look at that.
Whoever believed that anyone would score 100 points in one ball game, it was done.
Everybody, all you got. Let's get this win.
With a crossover.
LeBron James, he has got the complete package.
He's definitely going to be a Hall of Famer. This is a long-time dream.
Oh, blocked by James. The Cavaliers are NBA champions. Cleveland, this is for you.
What do you think is down here?
I don't know. Let's go this way.
LA.
This season marks the 75th anniversary of the NBA, but the game of basketball was invented long before the first ball was kicked in 1946. James Naismith was a Canadian-American physical educator.
The idea was to throw the ball into the opposing team's peach basket. 10 years later, basketball was being played all over the country.
Tomorrow night, 15,000 cheering fans will pack Madison Square Garden in New York City.
Basketball, a game of giants. And there's number 99, George Mikan, one of the greatest.
Oh, the range of these sharpshooters. Here's a three.
Hey, look at this. This is Kobe.
Sincerely appreciate it. No words can describe how I feel about you guys. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. God, I love you guys.
Magic down the middle. Here they go again. It's showtime. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship.
Hey, welcome back to Inside the NBA, all you basketball fans.
It takes every ounce of energy in your body to play in the playoffs.
And here comes.
Get another one.
Smile. Perfect. We have to send this to your mom. Do like something else.
Getting this crowd riled up. It is as loud as it could be. Goes by a little crossover. Step back. Wide open. And it's good. They love it in the Deer District. It's over. The Bucks have done it. The long wait has ended. After a half century, the Milwaukee Bucks are NBA champions once again.
And welcome back. The Hoophall Invitational goes international here in London. Mike Ferraro, Graham Hiscock. Graham, again, thanks for joining us here. And great first half between Mater Dei and Pace, one that went both ways. First quarter controlled by Pace, second quarter by Mater Dei.
Yeah, absolutely. Really impressive by Mater Dei in that second quarter. Just took the game away from Pace Academy, both ends of the floor. Let's see what Pace Academy can do coming out of the halftime break.
Really, turnovers have been the story of this one. In the first quarter, it was Mater Dei that had 6 and Pace that had just 1, but Mater Dei faced first 8 turnovers in the second quarter. Here comes one to start the third quarter. Can Pace get a run in him? Ferry with the 3 comes up short. It's loose on the floor. There's 4 people on the floor, and it is a jump ball. Will stay with Pace.
Yeah, both teams are just sensational at hustle. Any loose balls, straight down there, multiple players fighting for the loose ball, and that's been the way it's gone from the opening tip.
Points off turnovers. First quarter, 9-0 Pace. Second quarter, 10-1 Mater Dei.
Yeah. Just complete, just night and day by Mater Dei.
Again, we're going to play 8-minute quarters here. A 32-minute contest. There's Jackson Ferry. That one may have been deflected, comes up short, and it's Davidson with the board.
Yeah, really good defense again by Mater Dei, moving their feet, challenging the shot.
And that one long off the hands of Belknap. But now Pace tries to throw the outlet pass, and here's Belknap with the interception.
Scotty Belknap just leading by example again and again.
Belknap open from deep. He'll take a couple dribbles in.
Yeah, Pace Academy in the zone again, just trying to mix things up.
Brogan with the fake into the lane. That's deflected, but goes back out. 3 on the way, does not go from Belknap. Loose on the floor, out of bounds, will stay with Mater Dei.
That's incredible hustle by Mater Dei. Zach Davison doesn't get it, then his teammate comes in to ensure that Mater Dei keep possession.
This will be Verna, who will inbound from underneath the basket. Verna was key in that Mater Dei run in the second quarter. Had 5 points in the first half. That's into Davidson. And it's good from about 8 feet away. And Gary McKnight's going to call a timeout.
Yeah, exactly the start Pace Academy didn't want. It's all Mater Dei, both ends of the floor. And that's a short shot shot for Pace Academy, and a short shot made by Zach Davison.
And Davidson now up to 9 points. He's the game's leading scorer. And Pace really did a great job of taking him away in the first quarter.
Yeah, first quarter, they dealt with Zach Davison. He just couldn't get the looks he wanted. First play of the game, he got blocked unceremoniously, and but finally they've managed to get him the space. He's getting some looks, and he's starting to deliver. I mean, he's averaging 22 points a game in the opening games for Mater Dei back in the States, and he's halfway there already, pretty much.
Had a game against Orangewood in the season opener. That was a 23-point win for Mater Dei. He finished with 22 points and 12 rebounds in that game. There was a key 10-0 run in that game for Mater Dei, and Davidson had 8 of the 10 points in that.
Yeah, he's a leader. He's not showing out as much today, but gradually he's working his way into this game. He's got his younger brother for company as well, which is a really nice mix, so they're going to look for each other. And you've got some other solid players as well. Mater Dei look a super team, and then there's Shea Brogan, the lefty, the freshman, very exciting.
Davidson, another one from an athletic family. That his father, Kirk, played baseball at Nevada. Mother, Kelly, played volleyball at Nevada. Has an older brother, Nick. He's on the men's basketball team at Nevada.
Yeah, well.
And there's an answer with a three-pointer from Eric Chatfield Jr.
That's much better, because Chatfield's been a bit sloppy so far this game. That's where Pace Academy want him knocking down threes.
Now Pace utilizing the zone defense. Quick pass into Davidson. He misses. And the rebound hauled in by Leach. That was Chatfield's first field goal attempt in this game. It was good from 3. And down low, that's Ferry. As now Pace trying to get some momentum.
Yeah, sure. Jackson Ferry, known for his outside shooting, knocks down the close-in shot.
Double team comes, but Belknap to Davidson for 2.
That's where he plays, Zach Davison. He is an in-the-paint guy. I will find the space and you find me, and that's exactly what happened there.
The Mater Dei lead is 10, under 5.5 minutes left in the third quarter. That pass is stolen. Here comes Belknap for two.
Yeah, Belknap and Davison, the closest to that action. That was sloppy. Telegraph pass there, Mike, by Pace Academy across the top. That's a dangerous pass across the top of the three-point.
And I think that was perfectly described. It was telegraphed, and you have some smart players who were able to realize that in Belknap. And Belknap, pretty smart as it is, he has a 4.0 GPA at Mater Dei. So.
Oh, right, okay.
And he can translate that to the basketball court as well.
Yeah, oh, definitely. Transferable skills for sure.
Here's Chatfield. And poked away again. And that shot's going to come up short, tries to save it. And now here comes Mater Dei the other way. And now Verna loses it. Oh, and a big block as Belknap gets back. But now it's scooped up by Evans, and he's going to go to the line. Wow, what an athletic play.
I think we need to look at that again. There's a lot going on there. I think Pace Academy thought they had a simple layup, and then the defense went to work from Mater Dei.
Wow, that is closing speed there by Belknap. But it's going to be Evans at the line. His first free throw is good. Kendall Evans came off the bench to score 5 points in the first half.
Replacing number 24, Ben Lynch.
In Pace's win over Stockbridge on Tuesday, the team's last game before coming over to England, he had 15 in that game, knocked down 3 threes as well, and hits a couple of free throws here. And that cuts the Pace deficit to 10.
Yeah, they need him now, Mike. I think they need players like him. We know the real standouts, the ones that are ranked nationally and in the state. They need the other players to come up now.
Evans, one of 4 seniors on this Pace team. High-low pass from Brogan to Davidson, and Davidson is held.
Clever play, spacing. Davison just getting to his spot, getting his player on his back or half on his back, and he knows he's too big, too strong.
And Chandler Bing picks up the foul. Mater Dei to inbound from underneath the basket. Comes in, nice spin by Davidson, and the flush.
That is just superb play by Davison, who's now starting to get his own way against Pace Academy.
Davidson's up to 13. The Mater Dei lead is 12. And some contact, as that was Chatfield on the drive.
Chatfield had some problems. They're going in amongst the trees. He's just 5'10". But look at this play from the baseline out of bounds, and they're chasing Davison around. There's nobody under the hoop, and he's just elevated and crushed it.
Davidson really has started to impose his will on this game. You mentioned Chatfield, okay, 5'10", but how about a fearless 5'10"? That one's knocked away, though, goes into the backboard. Chatfield down on the floor. There's 3 players on the floor. Fittingly, a jump ball was called. It will go to Mater Dei.
And for all the great offense and all the pretty shots, this is the most impressive thing, Mike, from both teams. The hustle and the tenacity and just the willingness to get on the floor, get your knees dirty.
These teams have both played really, really hard. Really didn't expect any less, but it's really been great to see is, you know, as we have a timeout to mop off some condensation on the floor, and that's what's going to happen when you play that hard.
Absolutely. There's a lot of sweat flying around, but it's just great to see. And any of the young English kids or any kids around the world watching this, that's the thing you watch first, the offense and the shooting and the great passing. That comes as a result of all this hustle.
Exactly. The skill work is pretty, but it's the result of the hard work that's done on the other end of the floor. And so many times, too, you hear about players that may be offensively, sometimes that they're trying to find their way, but sometimes if you just take care of the other end of the floor, it finds itself.
Yeah, get a rebound, get a deflection, and then all of a sudden the ball will find you on offense.
Brogan, no look pass to Davidson. Davidson near the left elbow. Goes out beyond the arc. That's Carrick. Brogan Off glass for 2.
I mean, super attack at the closeout. He's in the corner when he catches it. Nice up fake to get the defense off balance all the way to the bucket. Soft touch.
You like the mixture between the youth and experience on this team. As that shot doesn't go for L.J. Moore. Belknap, 3. Short. Fought for his own rebound and a foul was called.
Yeah. L.J. Moore with the foul there. He just couldn't quite get there. But again, they're in transition. They're looking for that early 3. And Mater Dei have gone for that second effort, and they pick up the foul.
Possibly a key moment here, too, for Pace trying to come back in this game. Moore's going to go to the bench with 3 fouls with 3:06 and counting now left in the third quarter.
Someone's got to step up, be an X factor here for Pace Academy. Offensive.
And that's an offensive foul.
Yeah, that's the one time. He's not quite got it right, Zach, because Zach Davison, he's been able to get the defense where he wants it for those catches close to the basket, but commits the offensive foul.
And they'll put Blake Davidson and Owen Verna at the scorer's table. Does Pace have a run? Kyle Green Jr. draws a foul. And you have to figure he's going to be one of the ones who's going to have to lead this comeback.
Yeah, with Green Jr., Chatfield's got to catch fire now offensively and all over the floor. But they did there was a video, I think, on MJ Madison's Twitter account, and where the team spoke pre-season how confident they were that, we're looking for another championship. We have a great team. We love playing together. Well, they're going to have to show that right now, Mike.
No time like the present. Down 14 late in this third quarter. Here's Evans. He steps into a 3. Doesn't go. Rebound by Davidson. Corner 3 from Verna is good.
That is just poetry in motion, Mike. Just catch, square up, lets it go before the defense can get out to him. Beautiful play from Mater Dei.
Again, the passing has been so crisp, and that's what leads to a lot of this. That and shooters are ready to shoot. And that one goes in for Chatfield.
I think that was a 3. Was he straddling the outer line, I think?
Yes, that was a 3. That was a 3-pointer.
Yeah. But, the passing is superb.
Here's a look for Verna. Second chance, Davidson is blocked but draws a foul.
Again, Davison just lives in the paint. He gets where he wants to get to. This time, he's got Kendall Evans on his back, the wrong side. So Davison, his basket side, he just gets the rebound, goes up for the putback and gets fouled.
And Davidson connects on his first free throw. Mentioned Davidson and family connections to Nevada, and he will be playing basketball next year at the University of Montana.
Yeah, fantastic university. They came over in the summer as well. I think they played Barking Abbey. It was either Montana or Montana State. Hold on, is that two different universities?
Yes, they are. Also, those two in football, and actually in a lot of things in general, but especially in football, bitter rivals as well. The two Division I schools in the great state of Montana. State where yours truly actually took his honeymoon.
Oh, okay. We can
beautiful
talk,
national
we can talk
parks.
More about
we do have a travel down low. Blake Davidson trying to make a play on the baseline.
Yeah, better defense by Pace Academy. I think they play better when they try and trap and speed Mater Dei up and get them to take shots they don't really want to take. They've got to do it now, Pace Academy. Time running out.
Down 16 as we approach a minute left in the third quarter. That one comes loose, and it's scooped up by Blake Davidson. Here's Carrick. 3 on the way from Barnett. Swish!
This is just sensational. Sharp shooting from Mater Dei. Again, defense leads to immediate offense.
The passing is crisp, and shooters are ready to shoot.
Yeah, it's textbook. It's just beautiful to watch.
Mid-range jumper from Davis Rice is good.
Yeah, that's really needed. But the worrying thing for me again, that turnover that led to the 3 from Matter Day, that was Chatfield again, just turning it over. He's got to turn it up a notch and be a leader for this group.
Shot clock is about equal with game clock, so we'll see if Mater Dei will try and run some clock or go quick with a good look. It's in the hands of Zach Davidson. In the lane, off glass, doesn't go. Second chance doesn't go for Blake Davidson, and that's the end of the third quarter. Mater Dei, trailed by 5 after 1, led by 11 at the half, will take a 17-point lead into the final 8 minutes.
Yeah, it's been more of attrition, and they've just kept pushing and pushing the boundaries, Mater Dei. And with their defense, and they're having some sequences, Mike, where they're just getting great defense, knocking the 3 down in transition, or they can go inside to Zach. They got some super options.
So we hear this over the PA announcement just now. So just to reset what we have here, in terms of this tournament, we're going to take a look at some highlights from quarter number 3. So the winner of this game is on to the championship game, which will be 4 o'clock local. Excuse me, 2 o'clock local tomorrow. And then the winner of this game plays the winner of tonight's game between Christ the King and Paul the Sixth. That's your championship game. The losers of those 2 games will play in the consolation game.
Yeah.
And that will.
That's 2 and 5 tomorrow.
Yep. That is, yeah. You know what? I think with the time zones, my sense of timing is a little bit off right now. Let's leave it to the local gentleman, Graham Hiscock, to explain what time everything is going to be.
Okay. Yeah. 2 and 5. I think tomorrow is when the games are. But we'll let you know when we're on air.
Yes. We'll have the consolation game coming first at 2 o'clock. As we take a look again at some more highlights. And let's take a look down the floor, and by gosh, is this an Inside the NBA production? Yeah. It is Kenny Smith.
Where's Shaq and Mr. Johnson and Charles? That's Kenny Smith. That's fantastic to have him courtside watching this. And
understand
basketball royalty, one of the top NBA players of a generation.
Understand that his son is with him there, as well as Kenny Smith, again NBA champion with the Houston Rockets. Yes. Played on the team in the mid '90s that had Hakeem Olajuwon on it.
Yeah.
Well, NBA champions. 1993, 1994. Kenny Smith again, but he played his college basketball at a great school in North Carolina. Played for legendary head coach Dean Smith there.
Yeah, super. Loved watching him over the years, and of course playing with the likes of Hakeem Olajuwon. Just a top player, and does a great job now with the TV broadcasting as well. I've always enjoyed watching those guys.
Absolutely. Just a phenomenally done show on TNT with some great personalities on it. And Ernie Johnson, the master at directing traffic with that bunch. It's a great bunch. It's a fun watch. And Kenny Smith, great to have him here in attendance. He does a terrific job. We're into the final quarter of play. Mater Dei with the 17-point lead. Pace with the ball, going right to left in quarter number 4, wearing the home white. And a foul is called on the drive. Luke Barnett. Against Kyle Brewer Jr. So taking a look at the stat sheet through 3 quarters, Zach Davidson, game high 15 points, game high 7 rebounds as well. As we have another inbound into the backcourt.
Yeah. I've got my head around that one now. I'm good. But yeah, Zach leading the way off with scores and rebounds, but not there.
No, that's Kyle Green Jr. taking it to the cup, and he will get a chance to complete a 3-point play. And Belknap will draw that foul.
Yeah, just looking at some of his current information, he's looking at Georgetown as his college potentially, and has already put up some good numbers, as you've mentioned, against Stockbridge, 10 points, 8 assists. Clearly a top player, but I think the way Mater Dei have played, Mike, is some of these Pace Academy players haven't been able to reach the heights that they have been.
Well, and we'll see what the next 7.5 minutes bring. It's funny how this game really seemed like it turned on a dime, as that's going to be Martinson who's going to come out, but Zach Davidson, after a brief rest, will come in. That Pace really looked to be in control of this game in the first quarter, especially the first 6 minutes or so. There's going to be a foul away from the ball called here. But Modern Day turned up the intensity on the defensive end of the floor in the second quarter. The defense led to offense. It led to rhythm offense. It led to rhythm shooting. And through 3 quarters, Modern Day shooting 51% from the field. And also the Monarchs have hit 5 of 11 three-pointers.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great return. But as you say, they do it in transition. They can do it in the half court, and Pace Academy haven't been able to stay with them.
Pace now in the bonus, but the front end of the 1-and-1 was missed by MJ Madison, and Modern Day will have it out of bounds. Again, the rule being, oh, that's a dangerous pass, but Brogan is able to feed it ahead. Here's Belknap. Can he finish? He gets the roll.
Yeah, that is just tough finish with the left hand, keeping the ball away from the defense. Good concentration by Scotty Belknap.
And on the other end, a nice move by Green.
Yeah, showing what he can do in traffic as well.
Belknap, Brogan, 3, good.
That's textbook how to break the pressure. Spot up shooter, Shea Brogan showing us his range.
And with the game situation being what it is, you figure that Pace is going to ratchet up the defensive intensity, but there's some defensive intensity from Modern Day. Can Davidson finish? The answer is yes.
He's just excellent inside. He just makes the right decisions. Perfect footwork, facing the baseline, so really tough for the defense to get at the ball, and he finishes right at the cup.
20-point lead for Modern Day, under 6.5 minutes to go. And we're going to have a foul called.
Foul struck against number 14, Luke Barnett, his third.
Yeah, they're in a tough spot, Mike, Pace Academy at the moment. They're trying now. They're bringing in more subs. See if Chatfield and Lamar Moore, LJ Moore can get them going.
Davis Rice took a hard hit on that foul and now trying to shake it off as he goes to the line for a 1-and-1.
At the line for the Knights, number 14, Davis Rice.
Davis Rice hit 3 threes in Pace's win over Chapel Hill. He gets the first, give him the second. First trip to the line today. He has 4 points in this game. Doesn't get the roll on the second. That's Verna with the rebound. Quickly ahead to Barnett. And it will remain Modern Day ball. We mentioned the passing. Graham, what do you think of what their outlet passing has been like? I feel like that's been particularly impressive as of late.
Yeah, they're getting to the right spots. They're getting open just in this sequence when Pace Academy are putting on the full court pressure. The pass is solid, it's flat, and it's finding the open player. Well, it didn't there, though, on the inbound pass.
No, the entry pass into the post is stolen, so here comes Pace. Ferry, 3, good.
Great catch and square up from the lefty. Nothing but net.
Now Belknap to Davidson in transition, counted and 1.
They're just breaking them down time and time again on any sort of pressure. 2 against 1 at the basket there. They pass it into Zach Davison, and he just gets the finish right at the basket. Again, that's a clear foul from Chatfield. Davison is close to the hoop. You can't deal with that. There's no way you can block that.
Shooting 1.
We mentioned Davidson coming in here, scored 22 points in each of Modern Day's first 2 games. Well, now make it 3 straight 20-point games to start this season for him.
Yeah, he is Mr. Consistency for sure for Modern Day.
18-point lead for the Monarchs. 3 for Rice. It is good.
Yeah, he's heating up. Just catch and shoot. The defense doesn't get out. Knocks it down. And now pressure from Pace Academy.
Modern Day has been successful in breaking it. There's a bounce pass into the front court. And timeout is called by Gary McKnight.
And again, they can call the timeout in-game as well. And there's a heated conversation going on between Brennan Martinson and one of the assistant coaches there. Gary McKnight just looking on.
well, I got the sense that just the way that was set up against the press was not really the way that Mater Dei likes. So an effective timeout, again, don't want to commit a turnover, don't want to get pace fueling defense into offenses. Yeah. The Knights trying to get back into this game, that they're going to bring fury on the defensive end. So Mater Dei trying to squelch that and stress proper execution as well.
Yeah, and on the whole, they've been excellent at breaking any sort of pressure Pace Academy have tried to put on them, except in those opening sequences in the first quarter. Apart from that, Mater Dei have been on top. As we see some of the highlights, and that was a nice play by Carl Green Jr.
Mater Dei, again, about 30 miles south of the Los Angeles area. So for those of you, if you're familiar with Disneyland, it's closer to Disneyland than Los Angeles, so to speak. Mater Dei, the largest co-ed Catholic school in the United States west of Chicago. Gary McKnight telling us that at shoot-around this morning. There's a great block there. L.J. Moore, once again, showing some athleticism and wingspan.
Yeah, he just took off there and took that ball away, and he got fouled, and he's going to be at the line. He just moves his feet, and then, well, he just timed his block. And I think on the offense there, the Mater Dei player tried to go with his right hand so that opened the ball up.
So now Moore to the line for a 1-and-1. He now has 5 points, and he'll get a second free throw. Has a block shot, has a steal in this game. Tallest player on this roster at 6'7".
Yeah.
And his second is good as well. A lot of fluidity to his game.
Yeah, well, he can guard a number of positions from what I've seen of him so far.
And it feels like that type of player is more and more in demand. Wingspan, almost positionless basketball with his ability to defend.
Yeah, no, agreed. Basketball is going that way now. But there's still a place for the likes of Zach Davison, who on the whole want to play inside the key.
As Davidson's hard work leads to the foul. Davis Rice is going to pick up his second foul. Pace with just 5 fouls here in this second half. Again, 2 more before Mater Dei is in the single bonus. As we're under the 5-minute mark here with Mater Dei up by 14. Davidson comes up short that time, cleared out by Davis Rice.
Yeah, really good D by Pace Academy.
In transition, Chatfield for 3.
Right, now we're getting to see the real Eric Chatfield. That was just super play from Pace Academy on D. Little handoff to Chatfield, and he drains the 3.
Chatfield stands 5'10", but, he has the heart of a lion with his ability to score. And another player on this team with a solid all-around game is Pace calls for time, which will give Sharman White a chance to set up some defense, maybe create a turnover here now with his team trailing by 11 with 4.5 to play.
Yeah, they've got to get into it now, really get back to what they were doing in that first quarter primarily, get some defense, early defense, get the steals, and let's get some quick shots, and they could turn this around really quickly, Mike.
Yeah, no, and you know what? The first quarter was evidence of how quickly they can do it. If they can get back to that, then, hey, let's see what these next 4.5 minutes bring. But, back to Chatfield. Again, coming in as Pace's leading scorer, 18 points per game on the young season. And he's done it in a variety of ways and has contributed in a variety of ways. They played Stockbridge, again, last game before the flight over. 15 points, 6 assists, 5 steals in that game on Tuesday.
Impressive stat line.
Yeah, and then a win against Decatur. Had 22 points, 6 assists in that one, and a solid 17 against a good Chapel Hill team, which was a good win for this team.
Yeah, and he had 6 threes in that game against in that 22-point performance as well. So he knows he can knock down the big threes when they need it. And if he can take care of the basketball, because that's been part of the issue, a couple of sloppy turnovers, and I feel his confidence maybe went down a bit, but now he looks switched on. As they go to a press now, Pace Academy, 1-2-2.
And Mater Dei with a couple of passes brings it into the front court, and very little dribbling there, but a lot of crisp passing.
Yeah, and I think that's the key to breaking these type of presses.
Davidson doesn't go. Offensive rebound, Brogan. It's taken away. Here comes Green. Chatfield with the ball fake, now the spin. Davis Rice. Wow. Swish!
It's like a switch has been flicked, hasn't it? They are completely turned on now, Pace Academy. Great wing-to-wing pass by Chatfield. And Rice does the same.
And all of a sudden, it's an 8-point game. As we're past the halfway point of this fourth quarter. Shot clock now down under 10. Brogan mid-range, doesn't go. Pace turning it up on the defensive end of the floor. Rebound hauled in by Moore.
Yeah, definitely. Shea Brogan couldn't get that to go. The shot was short. Good defense by Pace Academy.
Moore, now it's loose on the floor, but saved in bounds by Chatfield. Chatfield from the free throw line. That is deflected and stolen by Brogan, and a good foul given before the outlet pass.
Yeah, and you could see Coach Sharman White so frustrated with that turnover because everything had been going their way the last few possessions, but they coughed the ball up, and Mater Dei just relieved the pressure for themselves.
Mater Dei led by 19 late in the third quarter. That deficit has been cut to 8. Pace had a chance to make it a 2-possession game on that last possession, but we'll see what the Monarchs have here for an answer. So we approach 3 minutes to go. It's Carrick. He loses the ball. And now Pace with the opportunity running the other way. Here's the numbers. The nice give by Ferry to Chatfield for the finish.
Yeah, he's playing a lot better. I know he was involved in that last turnover, but he's straight back at it on the transition for 2.
And now it is a 2-possession game with under 3 minutes away. And Carrick has it taken away. Bing, now he loses it, and Brogan takes it back.
What a block by Zach Davison. That really saved him, but it's crazy.
Oh, this game looks like basically just a high-speed car wreck this last minute or so. As several players going down on the ground.
Brogan loses it there, and then Chatfield ends up on the floor. So Chatfield at the line, the clock stopped. Everything the Pace Academy would want.
Brogan picks it up, so now it's Chatfield. Down to a 5-point game.
Wow.
And that'll bring Belknap back in for Mater Dei as Carrick is going to go to the bench.
Maybe a little bit of fatigue mental fatigue as well, Mike, for Mater Dei. They didn't get out of that press as well as they have been. Pace Academy on the up at the moment.
I had to look at this a couple times. Pace has scored 22 points already in this fourth quarter. Make it 23, and it's a 4-point game with 2:35 to go.
Yeah, it's super turnaround. They've just played up-tempo, getting a lot of good looks, knocking down threes. Get back in a hurry with that 3 ball.
Davidson, he's trapped right near the half-court line, but the pass goes to Martinson. That could have been dangerous, but it wasn't. Here's Belknap, right wing. Brogan, shot clock under 10. For Belknap in the lane. That might have been deflected. L.J. Moore has it. L.J. Moore is tied up. Oh, Sharman White did not want a tie-up call there. That's going to give possession to Mater Dei.
Yeah, good play again by Pace Academy, making it really tough for Mater Dei to get a good look. But fortunate for Mater Dei, they get another possession under the on the baseline.
So 2:07 left in the fourth quarter. Shot clock reset to 30. Monarchs need a basket. It'll come in their go-to guy, Davidson. He doesn't get the roll. Rebound by Moore. Now Green. Offensive foul.
Yeah.
Brogan stood in and took the charge.
Yeah, I think he just got his head down and decided he is going to the bucket, and Brogan stepped in.
Yeah, he set his feet.
That's great defense. I'm sure if he could have a rewind, he would have passed that off, would not have taken off because there was nowhere to land. Great D from Matter. Really good response because they were on the ropes. They were rocking, and Pace Academy had almost caught them.
And Gary McKnight's going to call for time here. 1:53 to go. Mater Dei leads by a count of 62-58. Mater Dei, obviously, under Gary McKnight, has had a tremendous amount of success in boys basketball, but this is also a school that has had success in a ton of other areas as well. 10 national championships across all sports, 10 Olympians, and a football program that has had a tremendous amount of success that has produced 3 Heisman Trophy winners as well. Now, their head coach, Bruce Rollinson, he just retired at the end of this past season after 34 outstanding years there. But, you know, we mentioned, again, 3 Heisman Trophy winners, the most recent being Bryce Young a couple of years ago. The one preceding Bryce Young as a Heisman Trophy winner was Matt Weiner, who, of course, went on to be a great quarterback at USC, now a broadcaster. And Matt Weiner's son, Cole, is at Mater Dei now, and he's on the roster of this team.
Yeah, so it's just the torch gets handed on. These top athletes, they just keep coming. It's the same with Brogan as well, you know, with his mom and dad. And his dad obviously was in the team, wasn't he, with McKnight in the 80s. I mean, it's incredible. He's been there since 1982, Gary McKnight. It's just... And he's won the divisional title each year.
Here comes the press again. And Mater Dei gets in the front court. Martinson counted and one. Oh, did Mater Dei need that?
Yeah, that was just excellent. The way he leaned on his defender, used his left hand, created space. It was one-on-one. There was no help. Good touch off the glass.
I mentioned Martinson, another impressive freshman on this team. As the foul is going to be whistled against Chatfield. Martinson averaging 11.5 points per game, had 11 against Orangewood, then 12 and 10 rebounds against Dos Pueblos. Misses the free throw, so it will stay a 2-possession game. Let's see what Pace has in store in this last 95 seconds. Oh, and that was an errant pass. Ferry tried to get to Green on the near side, and it was out of his reach and out of bounds. That's a tough turnover.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate for Jackson Ferry. The problem was he took off, and he's making the pass in midair. Once you do that, and then the player's not where you think he is, you've got a problem.
No, because once you get in the air, you have to do something with it.
Yeah, really unfortunate.
And that pass went out of bounds. Belknap tried a tough pass on the baseline, and it went out. So the Pace pressure came in the backcourt. Mater Dei was able to get through that, but then the pressure on the other end. And once again, Pace Academy only down 6 with 1:20 to go. This is a smart veteran play by Green. He's going to wait and wait and wait until the very last second to pick the ball up. Save those seconds. All of them matter. LJ Moore up top. Here's Chatfield. Long 3 from Green. Front rim no good. Batted to the ground and retrieved by Verna. Outlet into the front court to Brogan as we are under a minute to play here with Mater Dei up 6. And Gary McKnight maybe a little bit too sloppy for his liking. He's going to call for time.
Yeah, I mean, Brogan had it on the wing. He's tried to get the pass in. And again, for me personally, I like a bounce pass or a pass up high if you're going into the post. That chest pass, that flat chest pass into the post is much easier to defend. I think just get the guys out of there and let's get in their ear.
So 53.9 seconds to play. Shot clock at 20. Mater Dei with the ball up 6.
Yeah, they're in control of their own destiny. I think they've almost ridden this wave of negativity from Pace Academy. They were really putting it on them. That last 3-pointer was massive because it was a great look for Pace Academy. Just short for, I think it was LJ Moore or Carl Green, I'm not sure. But that was the sort of look they were making on this run, Pace Academy. So I think Mater Dei, it's a great timeout. It's good. This is another difference with high school to over here that you can call a timeout while the play's going on. We have to wait until dead ball for sure. So I think that's really good that they can just call it. The player can call it on the floor or the coach, and then they can just get their messages to the players immediately.
Yeah, and an interesting point there, too, because you can use it to save a broken play
Yep.
or something that just might be a little bit too chaotic,
Yep.
as that was here. So, big possession here. Now, Pace still has to give fouls before Mater Dei gets to the free throw line, which may come into play soon here. There's a lob into Davidson, and he is hooked by L.J. Moore. L.J. Moore thought Davidson might have traveled. Actually, that will be the 7th foul. So that's going to put Davidson at the line to shoot a 1-and-1. L.J. Moore has picked up his 4th.
And this one-on-one, I think it creates a lot of pressure on the line, because you miss the first, that's it. You've got to make this first one. I think that just concentrates the minds of these guys so much on that first free throw.
And that first one is indeed good. Not only is it big in general, but makes it a 3-possession game with 52.4 seconds to go. So Davidson, who had exactly 22 points in each of his first 2 games this year, is one short of 22.
Yeah, he would have been there with that free throw. But yeah, just impressive consistency by the senior.
What does Pace have for an answer on this possession? It's Green. Chatfield, long 3. Back iron. And the rebound secured by Martinson, and it's ripped out of his hands, but that was a foul. As coming over was Davis Rice. And that'll stop the clock with 35.9 seconds to go.
A clear foul, but he had to do it. They're at this point now where they've got to go for every steal and every loose ball, and puts Martinson back on the line.
Now, again, we talked about men's and women's collegiate basketball in the United States, and this follows the men's model in a half of 7th, 8th, and 9th team foul is the 1-and-1. When the women's game went to quarters several years ago, they went to the more NBA style of 5 fouls and shoot 2 in a quarter.
Yeah, which is what we have over here, which in the EABL game before is exactly the same.
So now Martinson, 8 points in this game. Only missed them both.
Yeah, door still open.
Here's Green. Rice for 3. Good.
Yeah, he is impressive. That was the one thing I wrote on my notes about him, 3-point shooter, and he has delivered a huge one there.
3 for 3 against Chapel Hill. Big win for this team. That was on November the 19th. And it's a 4-point game with 26.1 to go. So, again, you have to think that Pace is going to go. They're going to set up the press again. In Mater Dei, the execution has been good over the last 3 quarters, but they'll need it on this possession now more than ever.
Absolutely. They've just got to chase. They've got to cut off the angles for the pass, because when Mater Dei were being successful on that press, they just blew it away. It was almost just completely non-effectual. Then the last few times, and certainly in this quarter, they've been able to get right on top of the ball handlers and get them to turn the ball over. So they've got to be right at their best here, Pace Academy. And as for Mater Dei, they've got to be ready for it. Try and pass fake or get the pass off quick so they can spread the floor, so the trap's not as effectual as Pace Academy want it to be.
Just in case it matters, possession arrow is pointing in favor of Pace.
Okay, well that could be key with the amount of held possessions and hustle plays that these two teams have highlighted this evening so far.
Both of these sides have played hard.
Yeah, and I said it earlier in the commentary, Mike, that is the most impressive thing for me, is just the amount of hustle, never giving up.
So Zach Davidson's going to inbound. Pace is not going to guard the inbounder because they want to play 5-on-4 the other way. It comes into Verna, and Chatfield, after a brief attempt at a steal, then gives the foul with 22.7 left.
Yeah, they were looking for a quick steal or some sort of quick turnover. As soon as he doesn't get that immediately, he's going to put Owen Verna at the line.
Which is the right way to play. Go for the turnover, but don't take too much time, and indeed just took 4 seconds. So a couple big free throws coming up here for Verna. Calmly drains the first. Brandon Martinson will come in for Luke Barnett. That'll give Mater Dei some more size. And the second free throw good as well. 6-point game, under 20 seconds to go. And a three is good for Kendall Evans. It's a one-possession game.
Yeah, well, again, another player, Kendall Evans, v Stockbridge, 15 points, 3 of 3 from 3, and there's no hesitation in transition there, Mike. He has just knocked it down.
And let's get another look at that. From the down low cam, from deep straight away.
Exactly what Pace Academy wanted. You know, good free throws initially by Werner, but they kept backing off Mater Dei, so Kendall Evans just stepped straight into it.
Sharman White's been going offense for defense these last couple of possessions, and during this timeout, L.J. Moore, with his length, just went over to the scorer's table.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely key. I mean, this is like 3 or 4 more possessions left in this game, and he's got to have the right guys on the floor. I think L.J. Moore's shown that he can guard pretty much every position with his speed and his wingspan.
What a roller coaster this game has been.
Yeah, I mean, we had almost written, and we know we shouldn't, we had almost written Pace Academy off. But they have turned it around. Huge character. There was no way Sharman White was going to let this team go out. If they're going to lose, they're going to go out fighting, and that's exactly what they're doing.
Well, Pace Academy led 15-10 after the first quarter. This was a 52-35 game after 3 quarters, which means that Pace Academy scored 35 points in the first 3 quarters, 29 here in the fourth.
Yeah, that is sensational.
And I'll tell you, if they can get a turnover here, these last 15 seconds turn into, well, it gets really fun then. Mater Dei might not use fun as the word, though. Trap over in the corner, and a foul is given with 12.5 seconds to go.
That's really good play. That was triple team there, was Werner. That's a really good effort by him to get rid of the ball. Don't travel, don't step out of bounds, and get to the foul line.
Really well executed on both sides. So Davis Rice picks up the foul. That is his 4th, and that will put Owen Werner back at the line. It's the first back to a 2-possession game.
Yeah, I mean, he's been put in the spotlight. 2 free throws previously, makes that one. This is why you practice. The guys would practice for hours and hours, knocking down free throws.
Again, offense for defense. Martinson back in for Mater Dei. Jackson Ferry replaces L.J. Moore. For Pace, both free throws are good. 5-point game.
Yeah, they need a quick 3.
But instead, what they'll do is Green will go to the basket for 2.
Yeah, or quick 2. One of the 2. 2 or 3, and they've done exactly that.
And Mater Dei is just going to let the clock run out as the final score, Mater Dei 69, Pace 66. And, you know, we have 4 great American high school teams here, and the first game delivered.
Yeah, absolutely. Mike, I really enjoyed that. Both teams showing exactly why they've been invited over here for this London International Hoophall. Some great performances. Zach Davison again leading Mater Dei, but Carl Green Jr. impressive, Chatfield, and Davis Rice knocking down some big shots down the stretch for Pace Academy.
So, fittingly, we come to London, and the Monarchs are in the championship game tomorrow.
Well remembered, good correlation. Yeah, London Monarchs, great American football team, so they are going to go into that championship game. And I tell you, another day's acclimatization, good sleep and rest tonight. They're going to be a handful tomorrow.
Okay, so we have half of tomorrow figured out now.
You got it.
As we're going to take a look at some more highlights. Again, the big 3 there from Belknap. As Mater Dei into the championship game tomorrow, the Monarchs will play the winner of the next one, as this will be a game between 2 teams that are rated in the top 20 of high school programs in the United States. Christ the King from New York City. Paul VI, PVI, from the DMV area just outside of Washington, D.C.
Yeah, I'm super excited about this game as well. But if it delivers at the pace and the level that we've just watched, then we're in for a treat, Mike.
And Pace will be in the consolation game, and that one will tip off at, Graham, I think I'm getting better at my times now, 2 o'clock here from the Copper Box Arena tomorrow.
2 o'clock consolation, 4 o'clock championship.
There we go. There we go. So, again, for the modern day fans, they could sleep in a little bit because now trying to do the math, that will be an 8 a.m. tip-off back in California tomorrow.
For the 8-hour difference, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., you got it.
So, modern day wins a back-and-forth one. Pace, first quarter, looked like it would be all nights. Then the Monarchs outscore Pace 24-8 in the second quarter. Pace made a late run, but it's modern day with the 69-66 win into the championship game. Graham, that was a lot of fun. How about we do it again in about 20 minutes?
You got it. I'm not going anywhere.
All right, neither am I. Modern day with the win. Christ the King, Paul VI coming up next. Thank you for watching here on YouTube and Hoopsfix. Another one coming your way shortly.
This is a big goal.
Mr. Triple Double. Pippen is the best ever.
Let me take the picture for you.
Moment for the Admiral.
So long, this is what you dream about.
Stockton to Malone.
Let's go into the theater.
Yeah, I think the movie's coming on
Win,
now.
you get to keep playing. If you lose, you have to go sit down. So you want to win as much as possible. And that becomes a badge of honor.
And the Boston Celtics are the world champions. The best team in the world.
Baby, what a play by
Hey, Dad, check it out. That's his average. Wow, 50. Look at that.
Whoever believed that anyone would score 100 points in one ball game, it was done.
We made up. Everybody, all you got. Let's get this win. With a crossover in.
LeBron James, he has got the complete package.
He's definitely going to be a Hall of Famer. This is a long-time dream.
Oh, blocked by James. The Cavaliers are NBA champions.
Cleveland! This is for you!
What do you think is down here?
I don't know. Let's go this way.
LA.
This season marks the 75th anniversary of the NBA, but the game of basketball was invented long before the first ball was tipped in 1946. James Naismith was a Canadian-American physical educator.
I told them the idea was to throw the ball into the opposing team's peach basket. 10 years later, basketball was being played all over the country.
Tomorrow night, 15,000 cheering fans will pack Madison Square Garden in New York City.
Basketball, a game of giants. And there's number 99, George Mikan, one of the greatest.
Oh, the range of these sharpshooters.
Here's a three.
Hey, look at this. This is Kobe.
Sincerely appreciate it. No words can describe how I feel about you guys. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I love you guys.
Magic down the middle. Here they go again. It's showtime. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship.
Hey, welcome back to Inside the NBA, all you basketball fans.
It takes every ounce of energy in your body to play in the playoffs.
And here comes.
Get another one.
Style. Perfect. We have to send this to your mom. Do like something else.
Getting this crowd riled up. It is as loud as it could be. Goes by a little crossover. Step back. Wide open. And it's good. They love it in the Deer District. It's over. The Bucks have done it. The long wait has ended. After a half century, the Milwaukee Bucks are NBA champions once again.